Previously on the Jay and Dan podcast.
You like the dunk tank?
Were people upset with my lack of penal references?
Please come home soon, Jay.
Yeah,
Dan is ruining everything. He's flipping pulp at me.
It just went dead, Nat. The thing's darn's come off my ears, and I got to hear nothing no more.
What are camels doing in the Aussie outback, and why would you want to ride one? I was also asking myself this question as their humps repeatedly pounded against my testicles like some sadomasochistic desert ritual.
Mr. Dress Up, a staple of Canadian children's childhood. Canadians' childhood.
I cannot believe you're a broadcaster.
Either can I.
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast.
Dance. Dance. Always wanted to say that.
You nailed it.
Thank you. Can I go now?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
It's Rod Smith, everybody.
I
Rod
appreciate
Smith
that.
Guest hosting on the podcast this week. We have enough of Duthie.
Yeah, what would you call him? Old man Duthie?
Yeah, he's just...
Really showed his grumpy side a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Well, the first time he came on, he was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? It was just enough.
Just wasn't happy to do it?
You've done it, but you were away.
Yeah.
We wanted to have you, and you said, sorry.
Yeah,
Go after yourself. I'm at the Super Bowl.
Get Duthie again. Boy, I knew if I lived long enough or had a career long enough, I'd finally say, oh yeah, get Duthie to replace me for something instead of the other way around.
You've got to hop on this podcast bandwagon because you must be saying to yourself, okay, last time I was on, Dan was on vacation, now I'm on again, and Onrait's on vacation.
Yeah, so I remember your Cuban stories the last time around, and now... And when's Jay? So he's back next week, right?
He's back next week on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I'm trying to envision Jay with an Australian accent, by the way.
He's in Hawaii now.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we will have Jeremy Taggart coming on the show to talk about...
Who's just nailing that Aussie accent, by the way.
Was he practicing
telling
it
him
out
before.
there?
No, he's just really good, isn't he?
It is. So, Onrait can't find a phone in Australia.
No.
He gets closer to North America. He's in Hawaii. Still can't find a phone.
No, there are no phones there.
Meanwhile, I'm in Cuba, and I'm using a cell phone, and I called in.
Go figure.
What a goof.
Yeah, I think he wants a break from talking to you. He's in a few weeks. I mean, he didn't go halfway around the world so he could talk to you.
That's right.
I hate to break it to you. I mean, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but have you ever thought of that?
I didn't want to admit it to myself. You know how you just don't think about things because they might be true?
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Okay.
He did. Did you see the picture we put on SportsCenter the other night? Him shirtless coming out of the ocean.
Oh.
It was a scary sight.
Hey, speaking of shirtless. Guess what I got for you here?
What do you have over there?
Well, these are, let me just open this up. They gave these away to the Super Bowl media. I was in New Orleans last week, and these are beads.
Whoa.
And
what do I have to do?
Well, this is the thing. According to Mardi Gras tradition, no, it's okay. Don't do that. Don't. Here. They're your beads, Danny.
Oh, wow.
That's my gift from me to you. And
this is awesome.
Yeah, there is part of the whole Mardi Gras or New Orleans tradition. The Bourbon Street tradition, anyway. The beads are used as a gift or an offering to get women to flash.
Yes.
So
I showed half a nip. No, that's good, right?
Please, just put it back on, will you, please?
So,
okay, you don't have to do this. I was just joking before. Anyway.
So you... Oh! You know who that is? That's Dunnigan.
Oh, okay.
So, Super Bowl, New Orleans.
Yeah.
First off, your first time to New Orleans, right?
Yes.
And?
Everything I expected and then some. This is a city of excess.
Yes.
I mean, in most ways, wonderful. I mean, it's just, and obviously, quite seriously, I mean, the outskirts is still recovering. I mean, it's not a happy place. There's still parts decimated by Katrina. But the French Quarter, everything you hear about it, it's just excessive. There are more restaurants, more wonderful places to eat and meet, and more drunks in a square mile than you could. I can't imagine a place where I've seen that many drunk people. And this apparently happens all the time.
And I asked you when the last call was, and you had a unique response.
They say last call is when no one's ordering anymore. When the ordering's done. So that could be, there were people going out for breakfast at 8 in the morning. And so even sitting up at the bar and ordering breakfast.
So it's
and
essentially
coffee,
24 hours booze.
Well, I guess they do have to shut down long enough to maybe clean up and then get ready to go again for the next day. But I think that, I think, put it this way, last call might be 5 to 8, and then they open up at 8 o'clock. So 5 minutes should do it.
Well, the overwhelming feel from the media that was there from Canada was, how was this taken off the Super Bowl list?
Well, Katrina.
Yeah.
I mean, it took so long to recover.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, this was the 10th time. And it used to be ahead of Miami, and because of Katrina, It fell behind one. But it's tied with Miami now as a host city for most ever. And it will get many more, despite the power outage, which some think might work against them as they bid in the future. But it was, I can see why it's such a popular place to host. It just and not only, I mean, sure, it's party central, but logistically, everything is downtown. All the hotels are close together. You could pretty well walk anywhere, or in some cases, with fans, stagger, crawl, whatever. Anyway.
Well, we compared it to when Duthie was on to Jacksonville, which he said, I don't know the figure again. He said it was something like 5,000 hotel rooms. Well, in the 1 mile radius of Bourbon Street, they have 100,000 in New Orleans.
Tons of hotels.
Jacksonville, you went to that too, didn't you?
No, I didn't know. James went to that one.
Yeah, because that was a disaster.
Yeah, I heard it was. I heard their hotel had roaches and no hot water and no staff there that was really interested in listening to a complaint because it was Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
So that wasn't good. I mean, Indianapolis, I was at last year.
It was a party and a half.
It was, if you could go. I mean, this is the big difference. We were out at in Martinsville, Indiana, an hour away, or close to an hour away, where the restaurant choices were KFC and Taco Bell.
But an all-you-can-eat KFC.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which is like twice as greasy as you'd get up here, too. I mean, it just, there was something about it that just screamed no. I mean, not every night anyway. And hey, the Dirty Bird. I'm a fan, but not not every night. I mean, if your upscale was going to Chili's, I mean, you might dress up for that just down the road in Martinsville. So we go from that to New Orleans, where the food choices, Dan, were just ridiculous. As I emailed you earlier, I loved it. I could move to New Orleans, but I'd be dead in a year because it's got vices for everybody.
You also sent me an email before this podcast because you came here straight from SportsCenter. We thank you very much. Here was
in a snowstorm.
Yes, in a snowstorm. So is it just confirming the studios at 299 Queen? It's in downtown Toronto. I said, question mark. 8 p.m., question mark. Believe it or not, never been there. Is there parking nearby? Question mark. Does my security card still work? Question mark. Where can I get coffee? Question mark. What if I'm confronted by a street person? Question mark. So many questions.
Yeah.
That's an actual email from Rod.
And if I'm confronted by a street person, give them some money for a coffee. Maybe we can share a coffee. And I'm just kidding. We didn't run into a street person down there, but it's been a snowy night and driving's been a little bit tricky. So I hope you appreciate the tremendous sacrifice that I've made to bring my beads to you down here. Okay, that's good.
Some Coke. I didn't bring an energy drink for us because of the snowstorm. It took me 2 hours to get here.
No, that's an annoying sound.
Do we have Duthie's drink?
That was a really annoying sound.
Oh, wait till you hear Duthie. Duthie had never drank a beverage before, and he went to town on the energy drink. I gave him an energy drink for the first time ever, and this is what he did with it.
Can you tell me a bedtime story?
Producer Tim got called up there a bit early.
Okay.
There's going to be no producer Tim today.
Why?
He's a jerk.
Because he doesn't want to talk to you either?
No.
Like Onrait?
Keeps coming up with excuses saying, I'm busy, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
I don't believe
Producer Tim owes you.
For what?
You've made him famous.
Oh, yeah, he owes us, yeah.
He has more Twitter followers than I could ever dream of. I mean, the guy's he's a star.
He is a star.
Yeah. All thanks to you and Jay. How did that start, by the way? Just one time on the air, you mentioned him, and then it just took off?
Okay. And, our life is dedicated to making his life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel bad, kind of, but not really. He brings it upon himself. He's one of these guys. We talk about him.
Are you saying he's like old man Duthie?
He's like old man Duthie, but he's a guy who thrives when something's gone wrong.
Okay.
Like he's like, I got an A problem to complain about.
Okay.
You're lucky you don't have to work with him.
I've worked with him a couple of times. I wanted to take his picture and tweet it out, and I was told I was not allowed to.
No, you can't do that.
No. So I was thinking of, well, what I'll do is then, tweet out a picture of me and producer Tim going over script and put the script just over. So I suppose you and Jay have already done that one, right?
No, we haven't done that.
Okay. Well,
we've taken a picture of whenever people want a picture with him on the craft tour, we make him turn his back to the camera. So there's a lot of pictures of his back.
So this is like remember the show Home Improvement
That's
with Tim
right.
Allen? It's like the neighbor. I forget the neighbor's name, but over the
Wilson,
fence.
wasn't it?
Okay, Wilson. So you never actually saw him.
It's a good thing. Have you ever heard of, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, come on.
So thoughts of the Super Bowl, the power outage, what'd you do during that?
Well, I wanted to go to the bathroom, and then I got in the bathroom. Well, I thought it'd be a good opportunity. No. It's just all business. This is anyway. That's nice though, Krista. Went in, and of course the lights were out. Now, have you ever tried to go into a large public bathroom in the dark?
I think
feel your way around to see if you can.
I think I've seen a few movies based on that.
Anyway, so that idea was out. No, it was weird. I had gone from. I feel like singing like Barry White now. Oh, baby. Are you looking for some Barry White? It's ecstasy. I can't do Barry White.
So you did find your way into the washroom.
Oh yeah, eventually. You got to you have to be resourceful. It's like if you were out in the wild, like Survivor Man, except the city version is going to public bathrooms where no lights are on. So anyway, no, I'd watched the first half in the stands. I'd gone down. I like to watch the second half where I can see it on TV to take notes and be ready for the post game coverage, because as nice as it is to see the game live, you don't get the replays. You don't get a lot of the other stuff.
So Duthie was saying
know.
it's a made-for-TV event.
It really is. And so went down and started watching it on TV, and the TVs go out in the media room. And this is just after the kick, the kick return for the touchdown to make it 28-6 and for Baltimore. And I was annoyed because all the lights were on. I assumed this was just a media room problem, like some breaker's gone and we're not getting on TV. So I was getting concerned. I'm missing the game. So I thought I got to go back out and see the game. And as I tried to go back out, there's just a horde of media, because it's close by to where access to one of the dressing rooms is, and then realized that they're not playing. I'm not missing anything here.
Right.
So, but you could even see through to the stadium. Was able to get out and see inside the stadium a bit. And of course, as you saw on TV, I mean, there still were lights on, just not enough for them to play, and certainly not enough for them to televise. And so, as it turns out, I don't know. I guess it was good for the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know how it affected ultimately ratings, everything else, but it made for a better Super Bowl.
Well, most watched Super Bowl of all time.
And it was one of those times, too, that as the power went out, Twitter just blew up. Everyone had a funny comment. Everyone had you were sending it out, weren't you?
No, I didn't send a single tweet.
People were sending me bathroom suggestions when I tweeted out that I was having, I probably got like 20 responses to, ideas of where I could,
Well,
including the Bourbon Street idea, by the way.
But 99% of tweets are tweeted from washrooms, I think, while people are taking care of business. I think it's called twooping.
Anyway.
Is this correct? It's twooping?
Is that right? That's a term you've come up with?
No, I think Biz Nasty coined that one.
Okay, well, one of the tweets that I found kind of funny was that maybe it was Bane that did this. Remember from Dark Knight Rises?
Right.
Remember before the football game?
I never saw the movie.
Oh, you never saw it?
No, I know who he
Tom
is.
Hardy.
He's the guy who just goes like...
Yeah, it's sort of a combination of Darth Vader and Sean Connery, sort of like... So fans are expecting the Ravens to win. Perhaps not. or else... Well,
wait, time call.
No, wait a minute.
Wait.
He was listening.
That's supposed to be an evil character?
No, wait a minute. Okay, I'll try to do a bit.
There, that's
a little
better.
bit more. Okay. So perhaps they think come in. The Ravens are winning.
We have
Maybe
to...
we'll cut power. Or else... He was commenting on the anthem singer like, what a lovely voice. I can just see him saying something like this about Beyonce. So
we have to capture when you first did the voice, because I think you were plugging your nose and you were like, I think the Ravens are coming.
Okay, just
a Muppets character.
No, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm working on my Bane. Perhaps he's wondering why you would shoot a man and then throw him out of a plane. You have to see the movie.
Okay.
How is it, Mike? Is it okay?
That's good.
See?
But Mike's agreeing
I'm hoping
with me.
to do Bane. I'm hoping to do Bane tweets later.
Did you hear?
I came here to do Bane tweets. Damn it!
Did you hear James Duthie character that he did on the podcast?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, he's quite good with voices as well. This was the one that This was his.
What's James got?
This is his go-to voice.
Okay.
Christoph is flustered.
It's a mime, right? And he's nailed it.
No, I guess it's not there. No? I think we got it now. No? This way.
You wearing your rubber boots tonight?
Oh, okay.
So he went through this story. Some guy called the station when you'd call a station for scores, and he'd call them every night. You wearing your rubber boots tonight? And then that was they'd go on for 20 minutes, and then sometimes he would appease the guy and go along with the story. He goes, oh, what color?
Okay. So you're saying that's where he set the bar for the podcast last week?
You already beat him.
No, I got to work him. I got to lower the Bane.
There,
see. Oh, you want more Darth Vader, but a little. I don't know. It is a little higher. Yeah.
But I heard he's very. You can't understand a lot what he's saying, right?
Hey, what's
you
that?
can't understand a lot what he's saying.
In the theater, you couldn't understand what Bane was saying, but then you rent it. If you rent it now on Blu-ray, it's great. It's a cool voice. I like it.
Hotel
Wish I could get
Transylvania.
it.
We can talk about that. I just saw it. It's a good film. Have you seen it?
No.
Adam Sandler, man. That guy brings in the cash. He's the voice of the main character in that. What do you think he'd get paid for an animated movie? $2-3 million?
I'm sure at least.
He writes his own checks, right?
Yeah. Some of the animated films have been huge. Made a ton of money.
On one of those movies that he did with all his buddies with Schneider and stuff, after they finished it, they all got like Lamborghinis just show up in their driveways. That's the kind of guy Sandler is. He just likes to give money to his buddies.
Okay. Well, that's the kind of, that's next for you and Jay.
Yeah.
As you move on to bigger and better things. Do you have an animated voice like James?
No, I've got nothing.
No?
I've got, I got my Twitter voice. Ooh, what are you doing? Like this guy responded to me today. Oh, your name is you're just like your last name, Tool.
See, now that would work in animation.
And so, and I responded to that gentleman and just said, "You sir are an ass."
Yeah.
And then he came back with some leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was I going to bring up? What was I discussing? I get sidetracked a lot, Rod. Get used to it.
Again, I don't want to. Could you please put your shirt on again? Like the beads were just. You can give them to someone else. Okay.
Oh, I will be giving them away.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Is there a lot of that? Is it just happening left and right, or is that
no?
Mardi
That's
Gras?
the thing. You know what? I guess at Mardi Gras because people were doing. There were a lot of beads around, and I guess on Bourbon Street, it's a Bourbon Street thing. But
so you aren't turning left and right and getting boobs right in the face.
No, not that I saw.
The results aren't just wild; they're the wildest girls gone wild ever. Holy.
So no, it just. That is part of the tradition. So
I'm not going there then.
That's what I was wondering when they hand out beads to Super Bowl media. Like, what are we supposed to do? So if I tried that, I think they'd want their beads back.
Don't hand them to Schultz because he'll punch you in the face.
He wouldn't be happy. I wonder if he kept his beads. I got to ask him.
Did you have the band playing when you landed in New Orleans?
No.
No band at the airport?
No band. Can you believe that?
Oh, very.
And we thought we were special.
So, any Schultze stories? Because Duthie told us one where he dumped a thing of beer on his head.
Dumped a beer on him from above. Because a lot of the Bourbon Street places have balconies. Go above it. No.
Schultze's tame.
Schultze was very well behaved and serious and hardworking, and everything was good.
But he loved that all-you-can-eat KFC in Indy.
Well, Schultze, he liked the KFC. I mean, everybody. I mean, as said in Martinsville, it was KFC or Taco Bell. So that was your nightly choice.
Man.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
No,
it's just like a slip and slide coming out of you.
So anyway.
I have to wear a diaper.
Yeah.
James Duthie gave us a project here on the podcast.
Oh yeah. Geez, he does imitations. He gives out projects.
So there's a gentleman who
grumpy?
does. He is very grumpy. He does Danny Heatley parody. He does a Brian Burke parody. Mm-hmm. We played the Brian Burke parody, and here's what James Duthie said.
Time for a Jay and Dan flashback.
That guy is funny. That guy is Ottawa. Ottawa Ghost, I think, is his name.
Is he a comedian? Who is he?
I don't know. You got to find him. That's a Jay and Dan type thing. Find the guy, make him famous.
So Duthie gave us that quest. So I emailed Jimmy Saul, who you know from TSN. He's our internet and our Twitter guru. He oversees everything. So if you send out a bad tweet or something, he'll like, did you send that? Or was it a mistake? And I said, can you help us find this guy? So within a day and a half, he had found the gentleman who does these, does the Danny Heatley. Here, we'll listen to a few of them first. Can we hear the Danny Heatley? This is Danny Heatley giving a tour of his Kelowna home, which every NHLer has seen this, including, I'm sure Danny Heatley has to have seen it, and then we'll follow it up with the Brian Burke one.
Yeah, so what I did is when I bought this house at this mansion there, it came in the red bench, so I was like, cool, I'll play off like I'm a big handyman, and then maybe people will think I'm good at something, so it's kind of cool, Yeah, so when I left Ottawa, I bought half the locker room, I bought it off Eugene Melnick with that $4 million I stole from him during the my demand and trade, so it's kind of neat. I can slap in the face to Ottawa. I can look at Ottawa's locker room. Yeah, with all that extra money I got there, that bonus money that I stole there, I would bought myself a gym, but I don't have anybody to live with. I got no friends out here, so no one to spot me. Yeah, so what I did is went and bought this bin there, and I just fill up with beer every night and get drunk, and I just sit there and sulk.
So that's the Danny Heatley. We didn't get to the All-Star. What can I say? I'm an All-Star. Yeah. That's the big line from that. And then the Brian Burke final farewell. I'm just stifling. Did you hear that? Did that come out on the mic? Me stifling my burp? That's an ongoing issue too, Rod, is get the burps from these caffeinated beverages.
You're honestly worried in this podcast that you get heard burping?
Yes.
For all the other stuff you say? Yes. You're worried someone's going to finally get offended?
Here's the Brian Burke final farewell.
All right. What I was saying was, pardon me, the sad part is I came here to try and accomplish something that I didn't accomplish. And, I got water in my mouth. I believe I put in place building blocks that will be here for the future of this sinkhole organization franchise here, and I hope my blockbuster deals and drafting will continue on here with the future of this sinkhole of a team here. And, bottom line is, folks, we just didn't win enough. We just didn't get the battles done in the corners, and we just didn't win enough games. And Phil Kessel there getting picked last at the 2011 All-Star game. Or I checked the paper. Hey, I think it was 2011. He won the car. Anyway, you can see the humility and the deflation in our players and their confidence going down the tubes after that fiasco at the All-Star game.
So everyone has heard this. If you're an NHL fan, you've probably stumbled upon it on YouTube. Actually, on the way to tape this, I was discussing it with my buddy in Vancouver. He'd never heard it. I said, okay, look at these two videos. Call me back. He called me in tears. Mm-hmm. So they're internet hit. Ottawa Ghost is his name. He's got over 5 million hits on YouTube. 5.8. He's close to 6 million hits. Views, I guess. They're not hits. Views on YouTube. And he joins us on the podcast. Ottawa Ghost, what's up, bud?
Hi, how you doing, guys?
We're doing.
I appreciate it.
We're doing great. We're big fans of yours. How did this ever come about? Let's start with the Danny Heatley. What can I say? I'm an all-star video.
Yeah, well, I gotta watch my language here. I'm used to dropping the F-bombs here, so.
It gets edited out. You can do it. No problem.
You'll just get bleeped.
Try and keep it clean here. How did this start? Well, naturally, I wanted to get attention, wanted to get noticed. Wanted to be an all-star. No, actually, to be honest with you, how this happened is like any Ottawa fan, I was upset at the way Danny Heatley handled the situation with demanding his trade, and so I just for fun I got on there. Of course, with all the copyright infringement issues, I had a couple of my accounts closed on YouTube, so all the original videos that I started back in 2009. Unfortunately, were lost. But basically, I just grabbed a headset and I found one of the old the intermission interviews with Danny Heatley, and I just let it rip.
Well, you nailed his, how he starts every single sentence.
The thing that gets me, Ottawa Ghost, is you're right about being, when you're ticked off, I mean, some of the most brilliant comedy, and this was funny, it comes from anger. And I have a lot of friends in Ottawa. I'm from Ottawa, and I know a couple of things especially make the Ottawa hockey fan mad. First of all, the way Heatley ended up treating the team or wanting out of there, and the second is anything Toronto Maple Leaf. So I mean, it does translate well how much disdain you have for all the fuss over Brian Burke and the Maple Leafs and also the Heatley stuff. So I mean, I can see how that came out for you. So have you done anything else?
No, I basically the two guys I key on are the Berkey, but like I said, this started out as a joke for my brother. I just said, I just ripped apart Heatley here, added my own voice and stuff, but I had no way of sending it through email because it was too large. So I was like, well, I'll just open up a friggin'.
You're getting back into character now.
yeah, I know. There. So I said, yeah, the hell, I'm just going to open up a YouTube account, put the video on, and you can watch it, because I don't know how the hell you send it through email. I'm not a high-tech sort of dude, so I was like, I'll open up so I sent it to him, and, at the beginning I had a couple of hits, and he was like, oh my God, that's hilarious, and then I had someone let me know about these tags and stuff. Those little extra little names you put in to get more notices. So I'm like, what the hell is tags? Skin problem, something? I don't know, like. But anyway, I added those on. Next thing I know, I think it just went viral. I mean, within 2 weeks, I was up at 100,000. Again, this was on my original account, and I was hitting 100,000 hits there. I'm like, what did I start here? And I just started this cult following, and I got all these crazy emails, and my God, you got to do more of these, and it just took off from there. And next thing you know, I had no expectation of all this taking off. Honest to God.
I hope you heard James Duthie when he was on the podcast 2 weeks ago, because we were discussing this, and he's very well connected with NHL players, and he said whenever Danny Heatley's name comes up, the first thing a player mentions is your video.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I'm actually in shock. To be honest with you guys, I know I goof around on. I'm a pretty laid back guy. I'm pretty simple guy. I'm not a very complicated person, and it's this is sort of my outlet to do this, and I enjoy making people laugh and stuff. So yeah, it's weird to get all this response back. I'm hearing from other people saying players are watching them and they find it funny, and it's shocking. It just puts me. It just makes me feel awkward, because I just, like I said, I'm not this big celebrity that all these people are trying to make me feel like. But I still have one of your Dave Hodge segment back in April 2011, the draft. And that was on TV, where he mentioned one of my videos, and I guess you had asked what his picks were during the All-Star game, and he said, naturally I'm going to pick the All-Star because I'm an All-Star. And I remember James Duthie mentioning, saying, well, for all those who don't know what Dave is talking about, just YouTube Danny Heatley and have fun with that. And that sort of took off from there, too. I started to get more hits after that as well. But you guys definitely been helping me out a lot.
Well, we see it as it's good fun. You aren't making fun of anyone. You're just having fun.
Actually, he is. That is the fun.
It's really.
I bet you, if Heatley and Burke saw the videos we watched, they would be on the ground laughing with us.
Blockbuster announcement.
Oh, jeez.
Sinkhole of an organization here, sinking down every freaking day here.
Yeah. But, so you do vary the voice.
I love, to be honest, I love Burke. I don't know if I'm Ottawa, but I honestly have a lot of respect for Burke, and I feel bad what happened, but I just find his character, it's just that type of, it reminds me of my dad, and it just has that sort of humble, you can tell that's probably what he loved to say. He's that type of guy.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably right.
He would love to drop a few F-bombs in one of those announcements there, and
well, that's the thing.
I get a lot of requests for Burke. I get a lot of requests for Heatley, and I'm like, guys, this is 2009. It's 2013. We're going to let go of the Heatley thing. We got to move on here, people. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. New ideas. So, how about some Sports Center hosts? I mean, I'd give you the idea. I'd give you the idea of the weekday early guy, but he's too boring. There's nothing you could do with him. But how about
McKenzie, Darren Dreger? James
yeah. What? How about Schultze?
You got to hop on that panel. You just do. Well, they have a panel because they go for like 8 minutes during the intermissions. You just go to town on them.
Well, you just pick one guy. Obviously, you're just going to pick one. So yeah, I mean, who would you pick? Would you do a panel? I mean,
I could do all of them. I just need a time.
Just all in the same voice, right?
Yeah, well, I'm a one-man show. Everyone thinks I have this goddamn elaborate studio here. I got a 6,000 square foot studio, all lined up with the highest tech. I'm working with a broken headset.
Yeah.
on a computer chair with holes everywhere. I mean, it's just people think.
Well, O'Toole rips Duthie for all his imitations sounding alike, and yours. I mean, your Heatley doesn't sound exactly like your Burke, but there are some similarities there. But it works for you. So I mean, maybe you could just vary it a little bit, but all four panelists the same. I mean, I'd love to hear that.
I'll give it a go for you guys. I'll certainly. I just basically what I do is I take a video, I review it, I just go through my head. I go over the voices and I try and repeat itself, and I try and pin it down from there. But I do my best. I'm not the best at. Definitely not. I don't think I'm the best at. Trying to get to.
We're going to put you on the spot here. We're going to play a real Jason Spezza laugh, and we're going to see if you can reenact it in your version. So here's the real Jason Spezza.
Summer can be a distraction if there's somebody asks for a trade request.
Some can be a distraction if you ask for a trade request. I like giving away the puck, giveaway king, I don't know. Someone's behind me all the time, so I pass the puck by. I don't know. Casper the Ghost is behind me. Yeah, good old Spezza, the giveaway king. We love him.
Well, he's injured now, though, so.
No, we can't pick on Spezza. We love him.
He's a friend of the show, too.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Daniel Alfredson.
Yeah, Alfie. I love Alfie there. He's,
the guy's got no accent left.
No, he's losing it.
The Swedes lose their accent. Nick Lidstrom, when he was done, he had no accent.
Well, they learn English so early in life, too. I remember, Alfie's a great guy. I see him every year at Ringside for Youth, the boxing charity in Ottawa. Do that every year, and he's a title sponsor of that. Great guy.
I got all respect for a lot of the players. Even, to be honest, even Heatley. People think I hate on him. I really don't. Maybe the first year I did, but, I do. I wish, I would like to know what he actually thinks about the videos, but I mean...
we'll have to get him on here and ask him. But Ottawa Ghost, if people want to follow you on Twitter, you're at Ottawa Ghost, and all your YouTube videos are on your channel, which is also Ottawa Ghost as well, right?
Yeah, and there is a link on my channel to the Twitter account, and you can follow me on there as well.
Thanks for making us laugh, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
And no problem, guys. Look, I really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you very much for allowing me on there. And get it out in the air here, so I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
That's Ottawa Ghost, who does the Heatley parody, the Brian Burke parody. Sounds like a fun guy.
Yeah.
But we could have used his real name, but we didn't want to get him in trouble at work or anything.
No.
Yeah, so.
Mind you, I can hear him going on a rant, and if you watch any of the videos, if I heard that voice, I'd be able to pick it up. After a while, he goes into Brian Burke character there sometimes.
I got to hear that Spezza laugh again. I could listen to that all day.
I don't know where it came from.
I'm almost in tears whenever he's on. Sorry, I interrupted you. I think we were halfway through your Super Bowl story.
Really?
Sorry.
Must have been a good one.
No, well, we hadn't got to the end of the game yet.
Oh.
And your post, because you were on the field.
Yeah, where'd we leave off? I was in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
No, I finally got out of the bathroom, and the game finally started again. And then, it ended up being like a great finish. It ended up being most of the Super Bowls in recent years have been outstanding.
Yeah.
Just great finishes. You know that. Okay, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to bring up. Someone brought up a very good point on Twitter about they mentioned it to me. If the lights went out like that during a Grey Cup, people would be like, "Oh, what a bush league! Only in the CFL." But it happened during the Super Bowl, and no one said anything like that. And I kind of agreed with that guy completely.
Well, you know what? And Dave Naylor made a point. He had he got ripped by a lot of, I think, some CFL followers for it, thinking he was actually ripping the league, which he wasn't. If I could speak for Dave here, what he was saying, it was the NFL was having a CFL-like moment, and I think what he meant to say is nothing catastrophic, but it was different. It was unique. It was something that would it would help you remember the game. They obviously don't want it, and the power's never gone off in a Grey Cup game. We're talking about things like Mud Bowl, Fog Bowl, a lot of the things when it was outdoors, things were out of control. Just interesting sights, and all the snow that fell in the 96 game when it was, in Hamilton. So, I mean, stuff that becomes, distinctively part of the game. Now, the power failure, no one wanted it to happen. It ended up inadvertently leading to one team making this massive comeback they probably wouldn't have made if the game carried on. It was just different. I think that was the point being made. It wasn't to be critical or belittle either league or anything like that. I thought it was an interesting point. And you're right. Had it been the other way around, you would have had Americans saying, "Oh my goodness," So it was a change for the Super Bowl. It makes the Super Bowl more memorable. That's for sure.
Did they find out what the problem was? What caused it?
Nothing I ever heard.
Because I know the people in charge of New Orleans Power said it wasn't us.
It was Bane. Anyway, you got to see the movie. That's just I keep trying it, hoping to get a laugh out of him. I'm like hitting my head against.
You got it.
No,
you're gonna. That is the least terrifying character I've ever heard.
Oh, come on! Really? Am I doing it that badly?
No. You nailed it halfway through.
No, I got to work on it. But anyway, no.
You wearing your rubber boots tonight?
Yes, it was him. Yeah.
And then when you went on field, this actually happened when you guys were doing your post game stuff with the panel.
John Harbaugh, the victorious coach of Super Bowl 47, defeating his brother, so he finally gets the ring, and it comes.
We know y'all had him picked. How they gonna stop calling Kaepernick?
Does he know I picked Baltimore? Does he know I picked Baltimore?
Terrell Suggs. On to do another interview. Not much more time to talk.
So that was during live television.
Yeah, that caught us a bit off guard. The thing about that, even afterwards, what he did. So Suggs came running in while it was just me and Jesse and Schultze, and he got in between me and Jesse, and just figured it's just some one of the many thousands of media groups accredited for all this thing. He just wanted to get his point across that nobody picked us, which actually two of the three of us, Jesse and I, both had Baltimore by 3.
Yeah.
So it was, and Schultze had them to cover. Not that he cares. Not that Charles Suggs cares. He did pick San Francisco to win. But after that, it was hilarious because I turned around and just Suggs had made his point. He was going to take off, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of his eye, he did actually see Jesse.
Yeah.
And he knows Jesse, so he went back and this is this is a big, beefy, strong linebacker who just won the Super Bowl. He's all this adrenaline, and he goes and he puts his hands on Jesse's shoulder or neck just to say hi. And Jesse later said, "Man, my collarbone. I think he broke my collarbone." When he was saying when he was saying hey, but that was a nice surprise. I mean, he didn't stay to be interviewed, but
and you got another surprise on field too.
Wait, one more thing. Hey, is he rolling?
Oh yeah, you're on live.
We're going to Disney.
There you go. I've always wanted to say that.
Did he get his trip to Disney? Who was that?
No, the trip that was Bernard Pierce, one of the running backs. So actually, yeah, I mean, had a decent game because Flacco distributed the ball so well to so many people, and he had one series in particular in the second quarter where he was a big factor. And no, he didn't get the Disney. He didn't specify, by the way, Disney World or Disneyland. I don't think it mattered. He just wants to go to Disney.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe the Disney store. They could probably arrange that.
They've got one at the Vaughan Mills Mall.
Yes.
So there you go.
So anyway, no, Joe Flacco got the trip. So
you got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are doing the live hits post Super Bowl? How many outlets are on that field?
Okay, rough guess. I'm just guessing 60 anyway. I mean, they're right up and down the field, so easily that many, maybe more.
And everyone's trying to grab players and get
it's
someone
crazy.
on.
Yeah. Well, another outlet, our producer, Dennis Barham, got Bernard Pierce, and I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Solomon Wilcots, but somebody came up, I think, with CBS, and they tried to get him, but it was good. Bernard Pierce, good rookie player, and he had agreed to do this interview. And not the most prominent name, obviously, in this, but he did play in the game, and he agreed to do the thing with us, and Dennis got him, and CBS was browbeating Dennis later on, because the more people, it's funny you mention this, the more people you accredit, I mean, the harder it is. Like, eventually it's going to be, this person dressed for the game as the third-string long snapper, and like, I know you didn't play, but, tell me how you feel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, the more outlets you get, and you try to grab the guests, but we get a couple, I mean, and we were late getting on, of course, because of the power failure, late in SportsCenter, and talked to Marshall Yanda, their starting right guard, and Yeah, it was a fun post-game show.
And you covered every single media conference during Super Bowl week. So
So
you got to see the Harbaughs.
Yeah.
They didn't come across...
They're brothers, you know.
Yes.
This is something, by the end of the week, we found that out. And their names, both of them, they start with a J.
But Jim didn't come across as crazy during Super Bowl week as he has in the past.
Yeah, right. The Schwartz thing in Detroit, where the handshake?
All of it during the year. He was just like, this guy's like, I don't think I could ever sit down and have a chat with him.
You know what? They're brothers, but in so many ways they're different. Their temperaments are different. Their attitudes toward the media are different. John is very insightful. He gives you what you want. He'll play the media game, and let's face it, a lot of it is a game. And Jim he'd give this, sometimes he would sort of look up in the air, and you didn't know if he was actually thinking about the question or thinking, who's the dumbass that asked me this, and what kind of answer am I going to give me? He gives some one-word answers. And some of it, the whole attitude was kind of like, he just thought it was silly. You could tell, dealing with the media, having to answer all these questions. And I will say this: it's not like they're going to the Super Bowl every year. So I mean, suck it up and just enjoy the experience. Even if you get asked the same question, a million times, who cares?
Exactly.
And some of them do get attitude, like, by Thursday, like, can't wait for this to be over. And I'm thinking, well, maybe next year you won't have to. Maybe you won't get here, right? So.
We joked that Duthie and I said we'd never met a Ravens fan. But I guess being in the same city in which they're playing the Super Bowl, you met a few. Do they travel well? Were there a lot of them?
Ravens fans?
Yeah,
a little crazier, I think, than Niners fans. I think a little bit. I mean, even lots of well, they almost have a chip on the shoulder because no one gives them any respect. No, not the same thing. But not the same ways you get from a Niner fan, even though it'd been longer since they'd gone and won the Super Bowl, but. It was hard to tell. Earlier on, I'd say throughout most of the week. But you know what? Prevalent still. And it's not a surprise, but they weren't in the game. Saints fans. Until the weekend, the most common jersey by far, I noticed, were Saints jerseys. Yeah. Everything. Old and new, and they seem to have kind of a crazy edge to them, a lot of them.
And the other thing I want to ask you, this is the final thing about Super Bowl week before we bring in Jeremy Taggart to read Onrait's vacation letter. What's it like rolling with Jesse Palmer? Jesse Palmer. The Bachelor, Jesse Palmer. Does he get you into every party front door?
He got us into an ESPN party. He got us into, I think, an SI party a couple of years ago. The ESPN one, which is very, very good and very difficult to get into. You'd think because TSN is an association it'd be easy, but no, not. This is a high rolling party. A lot of celebrities go there. And no, he's good that way. He's been great for us, and he hangs out. And the one thing too, and he's never thanked me for this. And it bothers me.
Okay.
But every time he comes and hangs around me, every time I let him get close to me, there's always beautiful women taking our picture.
Yes.
And I've reassured him, this doesn't happen all the time, but try not to be uncomfortable about it, and which he does, and he seems to be pretty good about it. But
he's nonstop?
Never.
Is it nonstop when he's there?
Wait, are you
approaching?
Oh, wait a minute.
When he's with you.
Wait. Oh,
when he's with you.
Yeah, were you implying that they're taking the picture because of him?
You both have beautiful heads of hair. I'll give you that.
I just started to rethink this. Yeah. I suppose you're right. It might be him. But no, he's very humble about it. He is. He's good. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's very grounded. He's got a lot of, pity about his looks and everything. I'll tell you this much. All the hits we did, obviously, his football knowledge is impeccable. And his ability to deliver. Schultze and I felt under pressure. We'd record a lot of our hits, or even when we're going live, not to make a mistake. Because he would he'd work it right through. He'd go on. He would just nail it. He's excellent. Quite honestly, he's excellent to work with. He's a lot of fun.
Well, he does football all year round because he does college football.
Yeah.
So he's nonstop.
Yeah, he is. And he loves it, and he works extremely hard. He's a funny guy. He's a good storyteller too.
Well, thanks for filling us in on Super Bowl. I want to get the invite one of these years.
Yeah, you're next year, New York City.
Well, they said if you want to get scalper tickets, that's the one to go to because
I hear it's going to be minus 20.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the 1 year forecast, 1 year ahead.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. What was it, -2? So who knows? It seems a little.
But if there's any chance of being cold, those corporate types would be yay.
Mm-hmm. There'll be there's nice heated and that new stadium, nice private boxes, everything else. They'll be fine. So. But hey, we're Canada. Grey Cup outside. What's the big deal?
Love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Canadian, we've got a true Canadian on the show now. Jeremy Taggart from Our Lady Peace.
I thought he was Australian. Honestly. You're not?
Hawaiian, brah. Hawaiian. Hawaii. Hawaii, brah.
Yeah, the Hawaii this week. So Jeremy's been reading Onrait's vacation letters the last 2 weeks. The first one, your first go around at the Australian accent, it was a bit weak.
It's terrible. Very bad. I give it a 1 out of 10.
And then I kind of put pressure on you. I was emailing you back and forth during the week. I said, you got to nail it. So you said, really? So how did you get into Australian form for the last one?
I went on to the YouTube and I researched Ian Baker Finch videos. Who's the...
Say that again?
Ian Baker Finch.
Okay. Your Aussie accent's way better than mine.
CBS golf commentator, and I went through him in Sydney with his friends, and then just on and figuring it out for himself and all that stuff.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
And then I had it, and then it's just stuck with me.
And now we had to give you a new challenge because Onrait hopped on a plane from Australia and went to Hawaii.
Yes.
So now you have to do a Hawaiian accent, which... Yeah, I heard you trying it. Hopefully we don't offend anyone.
Yeah, I hope we don't.
I didn't Hawaiian. I'm looking forward to this.
Okay.
Okay, so ready? This is Jay Onrait's last letter from vacation from Hawaii.
Brother Toolsy, well, here is my final letter from my I got to start this. This is terrible. I had it in there, and the Ian Baker Finch blew me up.
Sorry, is that Hawaii, New York?
That was it, yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's Hawaii by way of Australia.
Here is my final... Why am I've lost it. I went to Ian Baker Finch, and I'm stuck in Newark. Hold on. Here is my final letter from my well-deserved but all too short vacation, brah. It's hard to believe that Bell Media only gave me 4 weeks off. What a bunch of Just kidding. They're a wonderful company, and I need them to come back, brah, because I am brokered into Charlie Sheen after his breakdown, brah. I am now in Maui for the geographical challenge that's in Hawaii. In the United States, the fattest country in the world, brah. When I got off the plane from Sydney and took a look around, I thought I had mistakenly flown into a Rosie O'Donnell cruise ship, brah. Turns out this is just how Americans look now. Maybe if they cut down their portion sizes a bit, they won't look all so disgusting. After overcoming my shock, I decided to drive up to the crater of Haleakala volcano.
Okay.
I was told that watching the sunrise from 10,000 feet is one of the most spectacular sights in the world, brah. I dragged my fat ass out of the bed at 4 a.m. and drove the winding road up the mountain for 2 hours until I reached the summit, brah. The guy in front of me was all over the road. He was having a harder time keeping it between the lines. He was having a harder time keeping it between the lines than a 3-year-old kid with a coloring book and a can of NOS.
Were you in The Sopranos? Were you in The Sopranos?
Am I?
No, the Hawaiian guy.
Maybe. When we all arrived at the gate, his buddy got out of the car, bent over, and puked all over the ditch, brah. What a wonderful way to start the day. After witnessing that spectacle, I proceeded to join a massive throng of tourists into the observation deck and wait for an hour for the sun to come up, brah. Now I realize it's been cold back home, and now I am in Hawaii, but I can confidently tell you it was freezing at the top of that mountain, brah. I think the Aussie tourists wanted to burn themselves, they were so cold. I did some internet research and I knew I had to show up with a jacket, but the only one I brought on the trip was a very thin craft celebration tour jacket that I had worn for 4 years because I am the second cheapest man on the great planet after you, brother Toolsy. So I froze outside with the Aussies for an hour before the sun finally started peeking over the clouds, brah. It was awesome. Almost as awesome as every single sunrise I've ever seen in my life, brah. Only those other sunrises don't require me having to climb 10,000 feet up to 4 in the morning trailing a drunk guy about to lose all over the ditch. A little lesson for you, Toolsy, brother. When someone tells you to climb a mountain to see a sunrise, brah, tell them to go themselves. Anyway, I will be home soon, Toolsy brother. I know you and Mike and Christoph miss me very much, and I will bring you back some coconuts. See you soon, brah. Andre.
That is, quite honestly, the best Hawaiian accent I've ever heard.
Thank you very much, guys.
Alive
It took me
read.
a minute to get there, but it was
Yeah.
close, passable, maybe. Not bad.
These letters continue to get more and more, not violent, but angry.
I know.
You talked about. I know you get branded as angry sometimes, and Duthie is Angry Jay, angry sex. I think he's ready for his holiday to come to an end. Like he's had enough.
I'm afraid I'm going to be labeled as a racist one of these times with one of these things. Like it's like just I don't know where that was, but it was.
Well, whatever race, if it was, it doesn't exist.
No,
so
exactly.
you made up up a
exactly.
new accent.
Yeah.
Well, it is Hawaii. It's all those different cultures blended into one, from Polynesia to.
Haven't you been up
Chinese.
that same mountain?
I have been up Haleakala. Yes. And it sucks. It's totally lame. Yeah, well, I mean, it's very high and cold, and you got to get up really early, and it's like no big deal. Like, sure, you see that little pinpoint of sun, and then it gets huge, and then you're like,
yeah, but you're in
get
Hawaii.
me the hell out of here.
No?
Yeah, you're in Hawaii, but you're like, it's really warm down by the beach.
Okay.
Let's get back down there.
Right.
That's
I
what
guess, yeah. The reason most people go to Hawaii is
especially
what
when
you
you're
just
in a
talked about.
K-Way jacket.
So someone else refers to them as K-Ways.
Sure,
I used to have a K-Way jacket.
Yeah. They still make K-Ways, but I bring that up now to like the younger folk at TSN. They're like, K-Way jacket? What are you talking about? A windbreaker? I'm like, no, a K-Way jacket.
Oh, the K-Way. They used to get them if we won a baseball tournament.
And same that you'd have the K-Way pants. So if
Absolutely,
But
tearaways.
can you still get like a K-Way? Can you?
Yeah, I'll go on I'll Google search.
Because mine's from 1988.
You still have it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's still in belt form. You know, it rolls into this little ball with a strap around it.
Those are it's probably worth more now than when
I
you
should
had it.
sell it.
Yeah.
K-Way on eBay.
See, look at that.
There it is. They're still going. K-Way. Exactly the same.
Way.ca.
Why not, eh?
Tell you, that's hip. That's like stuff's in. I hit something on my screen here. I don't know what.
Jay and Dan's podcast brought to you by the good folks at K-Way.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Speaking of which, we do need a sponsor.
Okay. Well, we may have found one there.
Here, we'll let you into something. James Duthie came on. We had a grand announcement saying his first podcast. We said, all right, Mark's just renewed for a year. 2 weeks later, there's no more Mark's. There's still Mark's stores.
Okay.
They didn't go under. They don't sponsor our podcast anymore.
You're just not as crazy about the shirts now as you were a few weeks ago?
Well, maybe if you do this one podcast and a sponsor comes on immediately, then you're the golden touch.
Okay.
And Duthie's never invited back.
Okay.
You wearing your rubber boots tonight?
See?
Could you lift them up on the table?
Okay.
There's no more Mark of the Week.
When Jay gets back, by the way, I want you to compare that one to Bane and just see, which, never mind. He's probably never seen Dark Knight Rises.
No, he has. He's
There's Bane. This is a picture of Bane. So, this doesn't do much good.
Oh, I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
He looks very loud.
Yeah.
You didn't hear Rod's impersonation.
Hey? No. I'll save it for, I'm going to save it for Bane tweets. Bane Beeb.
Oh, are we doing tweets now? Let's do
Is
some
it tweets?
tweets.
Okay.
One of the biggest requests that we get for the J&A podcast,
Which is quite bizarre when you think about it.
is when you were on and I was in Cuba and you read Justin Bieber tweets. We have at least 10 to 20 requests that you come back on and do that again. We were also going to have a reunion with you and Jerry D, who was on the phone.
Yeah, I saw Jerry at Super Bowl, actually.
Really?
He sat in the row ahead of me, so we did kind of reunite.
Well, he was gonna come on the podcast, but he's on a flight right now as we're recording this.
To Hawaii?
No.
To be
he's
with
going
Jay?
to Calgary.
Oh, going to Calgary, okay.
Yeah. He tweeted a picture. George Stroumboulopoulos was sitting behind him on the plane.
That's a star off, a CBC star off.
I was going to say, just a bunch of famous
Were
people.
they in
there,
the front first class?
But
speaking of fame, years and years, I slug away in SportsCenter, and in one podcast, doing a few Justin Bieber tweets, I achieved more fame than I could ever hope for in my television career. I had a guy at Grey Cup on it, true story. After Grey Cup, post-game celebration, Argos, everything else. It's mayhem, ticker tape flowing down, all these people celebrating and hugging. I'm leaving the field to go see some, I don't know, meet up with some people afterwards at the media trailer and behind. It was like, hey! And I turn around, hey! Bieber tweets!
Yeah!
Awesome. You're kidding me, right? Okay, so
I always refer to the fact that in 60, when Onrait's 60 or 70, if he makes it to live that old, people will be walking down the street, hey, Bobrovsky, right? And then he'll just be like, he'll walk up to them and punch them in the face.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Jeremy, you're going to be Hawaiian guy.
Yeah, exactly.
New York Hawaiian guy.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Anytime?
Yeah. Oh, we got some Bieber playing in the background. Perfect.
We are laughing a lot. Back to rehearsals.
Wait, that's all of the tweet?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
there's
that
much
was
more.
the tweet for
That
sure.
was one tweet.
No, much more. Don't forget who you are. But more importantly, don't forget who you're not. Wise words from my dad.
Didn't his dad leave?
I love my believers. We got a good thing here. Just thinking with all these blessings I promise to keep. Giving back. Thanks. That was #giving back. Let's keep it going. We got more history to make. Love you. Hope you are enjoying the albums and the music. That is what it is. Sorry. That is what it is all about. Music. We did it. #history. Thank you. #believe acoustic is the hashtag. Actually, it's number. Is the number
I'm
one.
confused.
See, what do you do when you get number and hashtag? Anyway, is the number one selling album in the world and our 5th number one. First time ever. Our albums. Thank you.
Can I interject here for a second?
Can I just do one as Bane, and I'll call it the Bane Beeb tweet?
Yeah, of course.
See, I won't give this Bane thing up, even though
He's got
even though it
34
sucks.
million followers.
Okay,
Bigger
and
than
they're all going to be okay. So this is Bane, the evil Bane.
Here, can you read this one right here? I just pulled.
Oh, wait a
one
minute.
up. I just pulled it up. Can you read that? Okay.
As okay. Rehearsal. No. Rehearsal.
That's
rehearsal.
That was one tweet.
Okay, hang on a second here.
Okay, you're doing a Bane one, right?
Yeah, I just thought it'd be different. Hang on a second. Take it. Yeah.
The fans, the believers, make it all be right. We are gonna have this number one album in the world soon. Love you. Thank you.
Again.
That's all I got.
That is good. I like that.
Okay, Christoph Pope.
That is great.
This is Rod's first attempt at doing Bane on this podcast. No? Oh, you've got the real Bane. Sorry, the real Bane.
I can't compete with the real Bane.
Well, let's hear the real Bane.
Oh, you could do.
Behind you stands a symbol of oppression. Blackgate Prison, where 1,000 men have languished under the name of this man. Harvey Dent.
So, yeah, I've never seen the movie. So I thought he would have a deeper voice, like a meaner voice.
It's kind of wimpy with some reverb.
I don't know.
Yours is more tough.
Yours is meaner.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
If you had some
Thanks.
reverb, you'd be tougher. For
Really?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Christoph, maybe, I don't know, later.
Give some
fix,
reverb.
we'll fix it in post.
Do we have a story time with producer Tim? No? What a dick. Thanks a lot, Tim. Ruin everything.
Maybe you heard some of the earlier things you were saying about him. Maybe you hurt his feelings, Dan. Have you ever thought that the time would come?
No, he likes it.
Does he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Producers like it. Producers always like it.
We do have time for one theme. One TV theme vault. Do we have time for 3? Okay. Let's go. One of the most iconic. Well, I say this about everything. David Hasselhoff. His car, we all wanted it.
Absolutely.
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
Kit.
William,
Remember the Busta Rhymes version of this? Yeah, oh yeah, he took that. It was dope.
How pumped do you get when you heard this?
Great.
It's the beginning of hip hop.
Is that some hi-hat? Is that what they're doing that?
There's a hi-hat in there, there's a clave.
Can you do William Daniels' voice? I can't. I'm just throwing it out there.
Is that Kit's voice?
Yeah.
You're good pulling up the names.
How are you today?
That's
How are you doing today, David?
That's Hawaiian William
Hey,
Daniels.
come on, let me try. Hold on. Give me a sec.
You're very nice looking today, Dave.
Or no, what did he call him?
Yeah.
What was his name in the show?
I don't know.
Hi, David. Today we're putting soap on your face. If you press the button, the soap will hit your face.
Okay. And how about
Dave, you look good today.
Yeah, how about Kit saying, "Do you have your rubber boots?"
Do you have your rubber boots,
Put that
Dave?
way,
I would pay to hear that.
Do you enjoy the butt massage? I'm doing it right now, Dave.
What's his name?
His
Dave?
name's not Dave.
Well, it's Dave Hasselhoff.
Wilton Knight.
Oh, Wilton.
He never called him that.
Michael Knight.
Michael. Can you feel me, Michael?
Here's the problem. When I do the TV theme vault with Ed Onrait here, because he knows all the names of the characters and stuff, I get so many people say, "You guys messed up." And we mess up a lot of themes. Oh, that's the one thing I had to correct. Last week we said the host of Rock and Roll Jeopardy was Mark McGrath.
It was.
But it's not.
Well, he filled
It's the
in.
Survivor guy. Was Rock and Roll Jeopardy, wasn't he?
Ooh, Richard Hatch? Isn't that guy in jail for, robbing no taxes?
The Survivor host.
Oh. I like Richard Hatch better. The bearded guy who lost all the weight, remember?
Jeff Robson?
Jeff Robson. That's so off. It's Richard Hatch, the guy with the beard who went to the IRS.
Rock and Roll Jeopardy was, so someone said sorry, I'm going on not a tangent here, but I'm Jeff Probst. Jeff.
Oh, he's got his own.
Probst, sorry.
Yeah, he's got his own talk show now.
Yeah, so he was the host of Rock and Roll Jeopardy, not Mark McGrath. So sorry for effing that up.
No, Mark McGrath was just good at Rock and Roll Jeopardy.
He did the fill in the words one.
Yeah.
Don't forget the lyric, I think.
Yes.
Am I correct now? Are we back on the right page?
Was that Wayne Brady?
I don't know. Make my brain hurt.
All I know is everybody hung themselves on Family Feud.
Whoa. Whoa, too soon.
Dawson? Did he croak?
I think so.
Poor
Richard
guy.
Dawson dead?
Did he fall?
You know what? That's one of those things you just have to Google. Sorry. I'm just getting it done now. I don't know. I actually watch. See, I'm a little older than you guys. I remember him, not only from Family Feud, but he did die.
He died last summer, June 2nd.
Yeah, I remember him in The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all. Do you remember him? He played the villain very well. And he was, I think, Newkirk, the character in the 1960s show, Hogan's Heroes.
Nice.
So you need older guys like me to fill you in on a lot of stuff that no one wants to hear about.
You delivered one of the greatest podcast lines. That's just something you got to Google. That summed up a lot of things in life.
And I'm sorry, it's hanged himself, not hung himself.
Yeah. So whatever happened to the Jay and Dan podcast? I mean, do we have to Google that?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't, Jay's going to have a show to come back to, right?
We hope so.
Yeah.
So, Hell of a Good Dip. We mentioned them a lot. They should come on as a sponsor. K-Way,
Tiffany. That'd be a good one.
Tiffany Diamonds?
Yeah. Fancy.
How about
I'm up for anything.
How about Sharpies? Because I got to tell you, one of the big coups in the newsroom, I know, like a lot of us, some hosts with more experience than Onrait and O'Toole, it doesn't really matter for anything. It just means we're older and we've been working longer. And we go and sit down, and my supply of Sharpies all either had the name Dan O'Toole or Jay Onrait. And this is some side deal they cut her. You mentioned Sharpies on the air, and they sent you like 300 cases of them.
Well, I drove Jeremy over. He saw in my trunk. It's just a big box of Sharpies.
It's almost like the way Mo Norman used to have a bunch of golf balls in his trunk. You got like 1,000 Sharpies.
Did you also see what was in that box of Sharpies?
Yeah. No, what's in there?
A bottle of Jaeger.
Yikes.
It's not for me. It's a Christmas gift that's been sitting in there forever.
You guys are good at cutting deals. I'm sure you're going to take care of this thing.
Yeah, hopefully, if you know someone who owns a company, tell them to sponsor the podcast because we'll mention it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And one more. We're just going to do one more. Let's go in a tribute to the Niners. No. Yeah, because the Niners lost. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt here and go Full House.
Is this Saget and the other guy?
Oh, yeah.
Who was like real dark comedy, and then all of a sudden he's on a kid's show?
Weird, wasn't it?
You ever hear how harsh his comedy is?
Oh, yeah. And he's got the milk and cookies face, and he's Mr. Middle America.
Well, he's the one who Alanis Morissette wrote the song about.
No, that was the Senators. The hockey team.
No. Wasn't it David Coulier? That
he was in that show. Yeah.
That was the guy with the curly hair. We really are now.
What the hell is this?
I don't know, man.
Full House is not a 2004 South Korean television drama.
It isn't? The South Korean show with the Olsen Twins. Are you sure?
Starring Rain, Sung Hai Ko,
right,
Han Eun-jung, and Kim Sung-so.
And the Olsens. No.
Google, where have you taken me?
Yeah. This Google's like locked into South Korea.
Remember I said about something you have to Google? I take that back now. Okay.
Your phone. You got to find it on there.
Oh, God. So, this is... Oh, there we go. So
yeah. Found it.
Okay. It is a Korean drama. It wasn't wrong. Google was correct in that aspect. Here we go. Sorry. So from 87 to 95, that's where the Olsen Twins made their money. And the Olsen Twins, they're like billionaires because they made all those straight-to-DVD films, right?
And clothing in like Kmart.
They were smart.
Time. Big dollars. Billionairesses.
John Stamos. Stamos is still around, isn't he?
Stamos was in the Beach Boys. Remember, he joined the Beach Boys. He's playing in the Beach Boys. I'm not kidding. Whenever they did that awful cocktail film, Kokomo, he's right there playing Tambo.
Oh, I love that song.
He walked his way into that gig from his looks. Purely. They booted out Mike Love and took in Stamos.
And Saget was also, he was always known as like a raunchy comedian. And he's now back to doing raunchy comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, good on him.
Nice. That show sucked.
Yeah, I know. I hated it. Well, the kids were so annoying. I'm sorry. Because they go to them the one stupid little line like, oh, I love you. Or,
yeah.
Is this the show that...
Yeah, they should have tricked them and pushed them.
For guys that hate this show, you sure are able to talk a lot about it. Are you sure you hated it?
Now, Full House, the South Korean drama.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's a show.
Well, they just drop it and start fighting in midair after breakfast.
I'm going to have to find this now. It's and it led into the second show, April Kiss.
Wow, that is way out there.
Why not, eh?
Google can take you down a path you don't want to go down sometimes.
No.
But sometimes you just have to follow that path.
Absolutely.
And do you ever get caught in a YouTube? I always call it a wormhole, where you just keep clicking on the sidebar things.
One thing links to another.
You're like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
Yep, it ends up being like some guy opening a Nintendo box, showing you how everything works, right? See, and then you look at this, and it's brand new, and I'm gonna play it for the first time. Just
every Apple product someone has done that with, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you'll get someone opening it and then just destroying it on camera
or burning it.
And like the Ottawa Ghost. Did they get paid for this, or they just...
Well, the Ottawa Ghost, there were some ads popping up, so you must get money.
If you get a certain amount, you get a 20 cents or something. Like the Gangnam Style made $10 million or something off YouTube.
And you know who found him? Justin Bieber's producer guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's the guy who made him famous.
Jeez.
And the Charlie Bit My Finger, I saw an interview with them. Their parents said that the kids are set for life. Their education's paid for.
Yeah.
Because they've got...
Charlie bit his finger, now he's on rails.
Onrait had never heard of Charlie Bit My Finger.
No way. Because he's not a kid.
It's over 400 million views, and it's a 56-second clip.
Well, the Gangnam Style was $1 billion it hit, and that's and it was like $10 million.
Yeah.
So that's...
What about Leave Britney Alone? What about that one?
I don't know.
That didn't...
That's the guy crying?
Yeah.
I couldn't even bring myself to watch it.
That's a kid. Yeah, that's annoying.
So, Jeremy, as a musician who plays actual instruments...
Yeah.
Well, I guess Bieber plays an instrument, but does Does he annoy you, or are you like good on him?
I don't mind him because he can sing and dance. But I'm friends with Dan Cantor, who's his band leader and guitar player, who's a really great guy. So I can't go there. Sorry, buddy.
No. I always like to get people's opinion because
So are you upset?
He's talented.
Are you upset at the tweets?
No, I love the tweets.
Oh, okay.
That's brilliant. There's nothing wrong with it. You're giving it some oomph. You're giving him props.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rehearsal one, I'll never forget that. I appreciated it. Didn't find anything wrong with it. Cool.
What's going on?
Well, I don't know. Well, he's looking at me like I'm really upsetting him, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
No,
it was great.
I didn't want to upset you.
No. It's all good, man. I don't get it.
I didn't want to upset you.
What's that?
Yeah, we got to. I don't know what the hell that music is.
What was that?
Did we get to everything? I wanted to play one more Duthie thing. Was that not the story's too long?
Was that Fantasy Island?
No.
Ricardo Montalban?
Okay, well, guys, thanks for coming in. It's time to get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't getting kicked out of a studio for once. We found it. We are at the downtown location, as described in Rod's email. Glad you found it. Glad you came in during a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, thanks for reading all these letters. Took us to a few dark places, but you brought us back.
Blame Jay.
Yeah.
I didn't write him.
Jay's ready to come back. Yeah. He's probably ready to speak to you again.
Well, he might be even more angry when he comes back.
Yeah, perhaps. This could be a evolution of an angry man.
And we were saying he left before NHL hockey was played, so he may actually arrive back in Canada from vacation without having seen a game yet.
You know, it would be funny if you said, like, Kessel has 20 goals or something already. He's leading the league.
He'll have seen standings. He may have seen highlights, but I don't know if his hotel would have NBC in Hawaii.
No way.
Chance. And no chance it has DSN.
No. I know from touring in America, you don't get to see any hockey. You have to wait for the last little 5 minutes at the end of ESPN.
Okay, guys, if you know someone who has any money, sponsor the podcast. Or K-Ways.
You could just turn it into a telethon, maybe. Hey?
$1 a tweet.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
They're going home.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around.
Dance. Dance. Keep dancing.
This is the Jay and Dan Podcast.